Yeah, what's going on, world? DS1, I'm back. My bad for that. I don't even know what happened, man. But for some strange reason, stream just stopped. So I'm gonna wait for y'all to come on back. I'm gonna wait for y'all to come back through, man. And we're gonna get it started. But as y'all can see, the title is If You Don't Heal, No Deal. If you don't heal, no deal. If you don't heal, no deal. We're gonna get into this tonight, family. Because a lot what we hear, man, a lot of the stuff that you hear a lot of people talk about far as relationships are concerned, we never try to look at things from an internal perspective. What is going on within? Because at the end of the day, like they say, as above, so below, as within, so without. So a lot of times we don't never sit back and grasp what may be going on with a person. A lot of times we look at situations and we look at situations and take things for face value. And that is because for the most part, we were taught to be surface thinkers. We were taught to only read the cover of a book and read the back of the book. A lot of people really don't open up the book. And then the people who open up the book, some of those people don't analyze and interpret what they're reading and actually apply it to their life or to their environment or to the people that's around them in their environment. I know y'all always hear me say, we got to heal before we build. We got to heal before we build. We got to heal before we build. Right? And I know y'all wondering, like, damn, where did he get this from? It came from me sitting back and analyzing myself and basically looking within, doing a lot of introspection, taking self inventory. And I realized that there's a lot of people in this world who don't do that. They look at life from a very vain perspective. They look at their whole existence is based on vanity. These are people in general. Everyone views themselves based on their outward appearance, what the world sees them as. Never really getting to know themselves. Never really getting to know what makes them tick, what makes them happy, you know? So I came up with this that we have to heal before we build, because I realized that a lot of the problems that we see going on with people is a reflection of what's going on within a lot of people. Because growing up, I was a very angry kid. And being that I was left with my mom, because my mom and my dad broke up when I was 5 years old. And once they broke up, my world was broken up. My whole world. I instantly became an angry child. When my dad was around, I was happy. It felt good every night going to sleep knowing that my mother and my father was together. It felt good when they took me out to the park together, when we walked down the street together. You know, those things is what made me happy. Is what made me want to go out and do more when I was a kid. But when that relationship ended, it damaged me in a way that at first I couldn't understand. But my sorrow turned into anger at a very young age. I was very angry. I was I had rage issues. I started developing migraines at a young age. And I always wondered, why did this happen? What made my mother and my father want to not be together no more? You know? What happened between them two? You know? And why would they do that knowing that that will hurt me? You know? And it was just like I was confused until I started getting in relationships, and not even just, full out relationships, but just having relations with women, having constant interactions with women. And I realized that there was something inside of me that I haven't rectified, because like I said, I couldn't understand why this happened. And what happened later on was I realized that I was trying to fix what my parents had broken, because I was trying to repair another side of myself, but trying to do it outside of myself. And this is what we have today with a lot of us in relationships. we seek outside validation to basically try to mend what's broken within us. And like I always say, healing is a process. Healing is a culmination of things. It's not just, oh, you do this and then you're good. Nah, not at all. But see, the first thing and the most important thing in healing is first you must understand that you're tired of being tired. I know y'all heard that statement before, but you really have to get to that point within yourself. You have to be tired of constantly getting in your own way from what you really want out of life. So if you want to be happy, if you want to be peaceful, you must seek those things out within yourself first. You see? But you have to be tired of doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. Because all you're going to do is continue to get the same result. But you have to be tired of doing that. You have to get tired of going through that. Before the process, see, once you're tired of being tired and you decide to do something different, that's when the process has begun. See, we cannot tell someone else when it's time for their healing process to begin. You see? Just because you're my woman, I can't tell you when your process should begin. I can help you realize that you should be, this is the way you should be going. But I can't make you be ready for something that you're not. And this is why I came up with this topic tonight. If you don't heal, no deal. And what that means is, if you're with a person that is not tired of being tired, then at some point, you have to call off what y'all got going. Because that's toxic. See, when you're toxic to yourself, you're toxic to everyone around you. And this goes for men and women. When you're toxic for yourself, you're toxic for everyone around you. So if you're in a relationship with a person who refuses to get the healing process started, If you continue to stay with this person, what's going to happen is you're going to begin to fall with that person. They're going to ultimately drag you down with them if you don't leave. Because there's a transference of energy, especially in relationships. Because if you're constantly trying to get your significant other to realize how toxic they are, and they just keep putting it off, but you continue to stay, because one day you think they're going to get it right on this magical day. When that day comes, you may not even be alive to see it. When that day comes, you may not be able to walk again. You may be on a bunch of medicines. You're not going to be who you are or who you were. This is why at some point you got to go. Because a person who refuses to heal is a person who refuses to grow. And a person who refuses to grow is a person who's anti-progress. These are people who want to be stagnant. And if you think you're going to come and save this person out of their stagnation, all they're going to do is drag you down with them, and then you will become stagnant. You see? This is what I mean by, if you don't heal or if you refuse to heal, then no deal. No deal. Because you cannot put your eggs in a toxic basket. You cannot think that that person is going to think about you enough to make sure that they're not dragging you down with them. And that is not their job. That is your job. And this is what we have to understand, family. A person who refuses to heal is a person who refuses to grow. And a person who refuses to grow, guess what? They're not going to be able to be what you need them to be. You see? They will not be able to effectively play the role that they are supposed to play in a relationship. Because what they're actually doing is they're operating out of normalizing dysfunction. So that's what their life becomes. Their life becomes a big ball of confusion. They don't know when they coming or going. They just living for the day. And this is because they are afraid to look within themselves. See, healing is a painful process. It's painful, man. See, sometimes you can be in a relationship that strictly is there. The universe allowed you to take on this person to show you who you are. To show you where you're lacking, what you should really be doing. This is why I premiered the show, episode 4 of the relationship series. Y'all could go check it out. It's in the playlist section of this channel. Go to the relationship series, episode 4, no losses, only lessons. See, you got to learn even from your losses. You may lose somebody you may love dearly. But if you understand why you lost that person, then you know what to fix. Because you may meet not the same person, but you may meet another person that may qualify them to be in your life. But if you're not let me say, if you're not looking at yourself, looking at the real you, not the one you show to the world, but the real you, the one that you hide from everyone. If you're not looking at that part of yourself and trying to fix those things, then that is why a lot of people miss out on the right people or push out the right people in their life. See, because if life is all about learning, right? What are you learning all of these things about life for? If it is not for you to master yourself. See, a lot of people fear what they can't control. This is why people try to control other people in relationships, because they really can't control themselves. Because at the core of them is chaos and confusion. But see, a lot of people are afraid to admit that. They're afraid to admit that about themselves. This is why they run from healing. And if you know that you fucked up within, which to some degree all of us are, but if you know that there's a lot of shit that you haven't dealt with in your life, you shouldn't be trying to be in relationships with people. You see? You shouldn't be trying to be in relationships with people. What you need to do is rectify who you are. Cleanse yourself. Fix yourself. A man can't fix you. A woman can't fix you. Because let's say you meet a cooperative woman, a submissive woman. If you're still out of control and still irresponsible and immature, what good is you having a cooperative woman? If you haven't set up structure in your own life and have a direction and have a plan for your life, what is there for a woman to follow or cooperate with? See, a woman knows when a man is fit to lead. See, when you hear all of these women talking that, oh, well, he gotta prove that he can lead. You know if the nigga's a leader or not when you look at him. You know. If you're looking at him through the right lens. See, a broken woman will never see the value of a good man. Let me say that again. A broken woman will never see the value in a good man because she don't see value in herself. So no matter how much good things that man do or possess, it'll never be enough. She will always remain empty because she's broken. She's broken. You could be the nicest woman in the world, but if a man is broken, he'll never respect the fact that you're a good woman because he don't see value within himself. That's where you get the statement, you never miss your water till the well runs dry. See, people don't know or value things in their life until it's gone. Because sometimes you can be in a relationship with a person and you can be their band-aid. You can be their crutch. But you can't keep a band-aid on forever, could you? And can you walk with crutches forever? This is why I say, if you refuse to heal, no deal. No deal. No deal. Because it's only going to end bad. It's only going to end bad. And for the people who have not made certain mistakes and started having children and, start cohabitating and all of that, call it off. Once you see the dysfunction playing out and you don't see that person trying to work on that shit, just call it off. Cut yourself. Cut it off. Cut your losses, man. Because when you start adding shit on, adding insult to injury, it gets worse. It gets worse and worse and worse. And then when you finally decide to leave the situation, you got to pick up your pieces and figure this shit all the way out again. Don't think you can save someone from themselves. You cannot save her from herself. You cannot save him from himself. You only can save yourself. See, we got to stop thinking because we're good people that we can make this astronomical change in a person's life. No, all you can do is be you. And if a person chooses to accept that, then that's it. But if they refuse, that's that also. Move on. Now that may be a little harder because, some of us got children. So it's much more difficult. But this is why I'm talking to the couples tonight that don't have children, that don't live together. If you refuse to heal, no deal. It was nice. The time we spent together was nice. Now it's done. It's over. It's over. And we have to learn to accept that. We have to learn to live with that. Because the shit may hurt. I've been through that. But men, the brothers who have vision, just think about it if you don't leave. Think about if you stay an extra year or two. Think about if you did have a kid. If you did cohabitate. If you did share finances. Think about that. Think about the feelings you would be feeling then, the thoughts you'll be having then. Think about that. Where would you be? This is why I wanted to come and talk about this tonight. If a person refuses to heal, no deal. You shouldn't marry a dysfunctional woman. Marrying her will not make her functional. Just because she put a goddamn dress on and you put a ring on her finger is not going to change who she is. That is a choice that she has to make before you decide to invest in that manner. Before you decide to have a child, make sure this person is functional enough to raise a child, to raise your child. Do not invest everything you have. Brothers, don't fall for the pretty, sexy, seductive, dysfunctional female. You wonder why there's so many men of means who get used and abused. You know, there's a lot of Scottie Pippins out here. There's a lot of those kind of men. This is why I say, men, we have to learn to see past our dicks. We got to learn to see past that. See a woman for what she really is. Stop just looking at her when she's naked. Learn to look past your dick when you're in a relationship. Because if you never look past your dick, you're not in a relationship. You know what you're in? A situationship. That's what you're in. If the only time you think about this woman is in a sexual manner, that's not a relationship. That's not a relationship. So I repeat, do not, brothers, invest your knowledge, your wisdom, your understanding, your resources in a broken woman. Let that woman go and heal first before you take it that far with her. And I'm going to have to just say this, man. Shout out to the Pimp God. Y'all go and subscribe. If y'all been paying attention to my community tab, that's one of my favorite channels on YouTube right now. Hands down. Y'all go check out the Pimp God, right? And in one of his videos, his latest video, he was talking about the first two stages in a relationship. And what he was saying was he was speaking on how romance is the first stage in the relationship. That is when y'all doing all the fucking, y'all going on these illustrious dates. Y'all going here, y'all going there. You're surprising her with gifts. She's getting flowers. She's buying you stuff. And, you know, that's the first stage. But then he went into how most relationships end in stage two. Now, in stage two of a relationship, stage two can last for however long y'all allow it to. But stage two in a relationship is the power struggle stage. And this is what you hear a lot of us men speak about here on YouTube. Women not cooperating, women not being submissive, right? The power struggle. When you won't just allow your man to be the man and you sit back and be a woman. Most women cannot allow a man to lead based out of fear, is what the brother was breaking down. Like I said, shout out to the Pimp God. Fear. And what is the saying that they have? Or what we've all heard? People fear what? People fear what they can't control. People fear what they can't control. So, a lot of women, it's hard for them to submit or to trust a man enough to allow him to lead. This is why it's hard for her to cooperate, because she's afraid. And what she's afraid of is herself. You see? She's afraid that if she falls in love deeply to where she doesn't have any control, she may lose herself. This is what the women who complain about submission is really afraid of. They're afraid of themselves. They're afraid. They're afraid that Everything may not go the way they think it should go, which is control. And a woman who's afraid of herself is not able to love a man. You cannot say that you truly love me if you're afraid of yourself to let yourself go and say, I'm going to allow this man to lead me because I believe that I'm worth being guided to where he say we're going to be. You see? So a woman who's afraid to submit is afraid to love. She doesn't really love you. She doesn't. Because love is supposed to what? Not have any restraints. So if she's putting restraints and barriers up, it's because she don't love you. Because initially she don't love herself. And this is why I say, if you refuse to heal, then no deal. Don't invest, brothers. Don't invest. Divest. Because, see, what I don't understand is how you could submit to Jesus, but you can't submit to your man. You could let it all go and put it in God's hands, but you can't allow your man to lead you. So divest, brothers. Divest. And to the women, don't even invest your time in a dysfunctional dude. Don't even invest your time. Because all you doing is putting yourself in a predicament where you're going to ultimately lose. And it goes the same thing for us, brothers. If they refuse to heal, no deal. I want to thank y'all for tuning in tonight. Much love. I'm going to shout out everybody in the chat room. And we're going to wrap it up. Shout out to Tony Smith. Shout out to my brother Darren. What's going on, Adrian? Thanks for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button, Adrian, so you can stay in tune with Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Shout out to my big brother, Sonny. Shout out to my sis, Poetic Kales. Shout out to Gab. What's going on, Gab? Brother Rob. Shout out to my big brother Rob. Shout out to my brother Art. What's going on, Art? We got to get an episode of Real Spill in with you, Art. When you can, man, just email me, dsalliance1 at gmail.com. I got to get you on an episode of Real Spill, Art. We got to chop it up about them archetypes, brother. If you don't mind, man. So whenever you got some time, bro, just if you can, email me, dsalliance1 at gmail.com. And let's set that up, man. Shout out to my sis Eunice. Thanks for tuning in. Shout out to Back Down. What's going on, sis? Thanks for tuning in, Back Down. Okay. Let me answer this question real quick. Eunice said, can you explain to me what is the man controlling or leading? The man is leading, let's put it in the sense of, if I'm driving a plane, right? I'm the captain. So what I'm leading is I'm leading our whole situation. I'm the captain. I'm the quarterback. I'm the one with the blueprint for us to win. You see, I'm leading with my purpose. You see? So that's what I'm leading. I'm leading us to where I said we're going. And if my woman is in agreement with that, then this is where we're going. I'm the captain, you're the co-pilot. I'm the pilot, you're the co-pilot. You see? That's how that works. Hey, what's going on, Jess? Back Down says a controlling man is an abusive man. A man that leads with love. You cannot lead without having some form of control. When a quarterback, if the quarterback is the leader of the team, he must have control of the other players to some extent. He must have control over the other players. You see? See, y'all have to get out of that mindset of thinking that control is wrong. You see that? If you don't control your focus, then how can you concentrate correctly? It's just like in school. A lot of children are not bad students because they don't know the work. It's because some of them lack what? Self-control. With the lack of self-control, you are harder to teach. Do y'all understand that? And it's not for me to control you. It is for you to control yourself. That goes back to what I said earlier in the stream. See, y'all fear what y'all can't control. But what y'all really afraid of is yourselves. And that's the problem. No doubt, Eunice. No doubt. Controlling is not abusive. It's not. I can't lead a person who's not in control of themselves. You have to control yourself in order for me to lead us where we have to go. If you are not in control of yourself, then guess what? There's no room for me to lead. Because every time I say, come on, we're going this way, you want to go the other way. Which produces stagnation. You become stagnant. And that's what a lot of women become in their relationships and in their life. They become stagnant. Because for one, they don't know how to lead themselves anywhere because most of them don't have a purpose. They don't know where they're going. And if you have a purpose and know where you're going, that takes control. So let's stop putting a bad net. Let's stop putting bad attaching bad things to control. Because if you don't control your goddamn car, you'll crash. Just like if you don't control yourself, you'll crash in life. And that's what most people do who don't have control of themselves. They crash. And then they crash so many times, they burn. Shout out to my brother Jaquel, man. Thanks for tuning in. You might have to catch the playback, bro. But I appreciate y'all for tuning in. Much love. Cash App, $Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Streamlabs /Sheep Stay Sleep TV. Much love. Shout out to y'all. Thanks for tuning in. This is DS1 Ross representing Sheep Stay Sleep TV. And remember, y'all, we have to heal before we build. We have to heal before we build. And if a person refuses to heal, no deal. Don't invest your time. Don't invest your effort. Don't invest your resources. Because we have to heal before we build. On that one, y'all have a good night. I'll catch y'all tomorrow. Peace.